In continuation to the unit 1, we will go ahead with unit 2, that is fundamental cloud computing. If I'm not wrong, the previous day I had given you a little bit of introduction. Did I? Now I'm a little bit confused whether I had told to your section or the other section. Anyhow, I will once again go for repeating the introduction part. Nothing wrong. Okay, fine. When it comes to the second unit, we'll be looking into the basics of again cloud computing and its models. In what sense these cloud computing can be coming into the existence. So for that, we got to understand a little bit of terminologies and what and all the concepts behind these existence of the cloud. And going forward, we'll be looking what business factors has influenced the cloud to come into an existence. And obviously, towards the ending of the first part, like we'll be discussing the advantages and obviously the disadvantages. Why? Because we have to compare those advantages and disadvantages, and we need to analyze our requirement in accordance with the advantages and the disadvantages. Okay, so if we know these aspects, then only it is possible for us to identify suitable cloud architecture and identify suitable cloud platform for our application point of view. Is that fine? Okay. Now, second part of the unit discusses about how does the cloud really exists. How does the cloud really exist, and who are the players present in the cloud, and what are their responsibilities and what are their boundaries, and characteristic features of the cloud, and delivery and deploy models. Okay, so to start with, first I will go with the understanding of the cloud computing. That too, first part, origins and influences. Okay, how did the cloud really came into the scenario? Well, due to in the year like 1994 or 95, when internet revolution has started taking place, like a W3 consortium has been formed, and they have given certain guidelines of computer applications, how they has to be. At that point of time, because of the internet revolution, I can say that, majorly, all the computing, or else all the functions, or else all the programs, what now you'll be calling, or else all the purposes what we were using the computer for, was only for three things. One is emails, second one is search engines, third one is publishing platforms. Okay, though now it is called as social media, but before it being called as social media, it has undergone a very, very long journey. We will discuss what that journey can be. Okay, and why that is called as a publishing platform. Okay, so majorly in the year like 1996 and 1997, when Yahoo, for the first time, they have introduced their services. They introduced email services. Previously, were also previously email services were also there, but a little bit of a very stringent way of functioning of email services were happening. Like not every person in this world, or else not every person who possesses the code will be given a flexibility to give an email, or else to write an email, or to get an email, or in a short word, I can say that to get an access to the emails. Okay, it's not that, okay, now I have internet, I have mobile phone, then I can have any mail account. That was not the case during 1995 and 1996. Though you have all these accessories, what I can call, okay, though you have all these accessories, you are not allowed to create email account as such. You are not free enough to create an email account. You should be part of certain organization, where the organization used to have an email server dedicatedly, and only those persons who are registered in that organization were supposed to have the access. Okay, so that was the case when that was the market, or else that was the utility, when Yahoo introduced Yahoo Mail to the world. Okay, so Yahoo Mail brought a huge revolution. Yahoo Mail brought a huge revolution. So how this revolution has clicked it, because any person who has internet access can be given mail service. That is the revolution what they have got. Okay, and that's the reason they were clicked like anything. You know, the word Yahoo, even I got the mail. That is what the logo, or else sorry, that is what the what was the caption behind that particular title as well. Okay, so that was the scenario. That was the scenario basically. And the second usage was only for search engines. Okay, I told you many number of times, other than Google, we had many search engines, and at that time the best search engine was lycos.com. Okay, lycos search engine. It used to have a very good search results then. Okay, even before Google took its birth. Okay, so that's how the computing utility was happening along with the email and searching. The third one was the publishing platforms. Publishing platforms. What do you mean exactly with the publishing platforms? Dear friends, don't get lost with the social media word that is being presented there. Okay, so of course now it is called as social media, just because we are published to anything what we like, isn't it? I can write a blog, I can create a post, I can publish a photo, I can upload a video, I can create my status, I can send out. It's my well and wish. Okay, that's the reason now it is called as publishing platform as the social media. But during 90s, what we mean by publishing platforms is an entirely a different thing. Entirely a different thing. Okay, so it all started with website publications. It all started with website publications. You got it. Okay, so it is something like when these people when websites are ready, uh, or else during 1996 or 97, then okay, the most number of, or else raw websites were being developed. Okay, now once I have an HTML code, then I can be publishing only from my machine, isn't it? I can access it from only my system, isn't it, where that HTML file is present. But if I want to make it available across the world, then I should have it running in a server, isn't it? That's how the web server has come into the scenario. And we call these web servers as the publishing platforms. We call these web servers as publishing platforms. Why? Because these are the one that hosted the publishing entity. Now you people are aware of this IIS, isn't it? Which is a standard Windows component of Microsoft operating systems, any operating system you can name. Okay, so that is nothing but Internet Information Services. Okay, nowadays it is called as IIS. Okay, if you run, even each one of you can test this. Okay, if you have your laptops or desktops, okay, and you see that IIS service is up and running, then when you open the browser and hit this 127.0.0.1, which is a local host, okay, local host IP, then immediately you can be seeing IIS. Okay, let me try if I had that. Let me show you. I am not sure whether I have IIS running or not. No, I don't have any server, any web services running with me. Okay, anyhow, so that's the case. That's the case. Okay, so even prior to IIS taking its shape, okay, the Microsoft has named that IIS right from Windows Millennium. I think that's around 2000 or 2001. In that year, they have released this Windows ME software, that is Windows Millennium software, Windows Me, what we'll be calling it as. Okay, so in that operating system, they have introduced IIS. Then my immediate, I can be expecting a question from you people. Prior to IIS, were there not any such publishing thing? Yes, definitely. Windows was supporting publishing entities right from Windows 3.1. Windows 3.1, which is released in 1994. Later, Windows 95 got released. Okay, and in Windows 95, okay, that is not a new one. In Windows 98, okay, it was called as Microsoft Publishing Services, MPS, or in other sense, it was called as WPS also, Web Publishing Services also. So that's how that component was being offering the services to publish. You know what this publishing platform used to do. I think now you people are aware of many other publishing servers like Apache and what else? I don't recollect. I could sense about only Apache, and the what is it? IIS, isn't it? Okay. So what you people will literally be doing is you will be writing an HTML code, and there will be a dedicated folder. And in IIS, it is www root. Okay. So in that folder, if you place this HTML file, then automatically every person can see that particular file as a published entity. Now, you say, for example, if I have the www root folder in this laptop from which I am giving you now the presentation, okay, and any HTML file placed in that location can be accessed using the localhost, that is 127.0.0.1 slash that HTML file name. If I give, then automatically it should be working. It used to be working. Okay, so the people from the outside world, how they have to access, they have to give my IP, isn't it? They have to give my IP slash that HTML file. So automatically, that particular file was that particular file is set to be published to the outside world. Okay, so that is how the publishing activity literally started. So in the initial days, the people used to publish only the websites. Nothing else they had. Or else nothing else they knew to publish by then, probably. Well, what happened, what created the chaos in all these kind of applications is, first thing is the salesforce.com, which started enterprise way of handling the computing utilities. Okay, and secondly, Google stepped into the market in around 1999, I guess, if I'm not wrong. 1999 or 2000, I guess. I don't exactly remember that. Okay, so during then, okay, these two people have started changing the market there. They started influencing the market. At an enterprise level, salesforce.com has started showing its impact. That means to the organizations who has a bigger entities to be shown on websites, or else to handle their organizational activities in digital way. Okay, so salesforce.com started giving their services, giving their space for the organizations to go with. Okay, now on the other hand, Google also, they what to say, they bought the search as well as the mail platform to a very, very low level common man as well. Okay, though Yahoo created that market, but in very short time, Google has just like that, it has overlapped, it has grabbed all the such market of Yahoo, and they have made in such a way that uh, you know uh, mail, in the sense, automatically they have people started thinking about the Gmail. But friends, remember, now you people are very much free to create the Gmail, but I do remember very well how I created my Gmail. Any person who is already having the Gmail, if that person recommends you, then only you are allowed to create an email, and that recommendation will be in terms of email. Okay, in 1997 I created my first email account in Yahoo, and to that Yahoo account, one of my I should say, one of my acquaintances, okay, so he sent a mail to me that, this is Gmail, and you can go create an account here in Gmail. This will be a good one. And in the year 1999, if I'm not wrong, okay, I have created based upon that recommendation. Okay, that was the situation, or else that was the kind of market it started capturing. Basically it's a kind of strategy. It's something called as negative publicity. In some of the movie, I've shown, sorry, I've seen that, the hero says that, okay, he is about to market his cigarettes, and he says that, okay, don't take this cigarette. If you take this cigarette, okay, this gives you something like, very gloomy kind of effect you can be getting. That's a kind of, negative thing what he started projecting. But automatically, the people, the sales of that cigarette has gone invariably upwards, isn't it? Okay, so it's a kind of negative thing. It's a kind of strategy what Google have followed to capture the black market of Yahoo. That's quite interesting. Okay, on the other hand, uh, you know by the year 2001, Amazon came into the scenario, and Amazon started thinking, looking into the computer applications in a different sense. So almost it started, I'm sure you people will be knowing that Amazon was basically a bookstore basic first. I don't know how many of you people know about this. Okay, so basically, they are a bookstores. Okay, and they ruined 150 years bookstore business, or else 150 years legacy owned bookstore, something called as the Barnes and Noble. Okay, so they were pioneers then at that point of time in United States for selling the books. And you know what? They killed them like anything in 3 to 5 in the 3 to 4 years of span, with the help of the technology. With the help of the technology, that is the influence of the computers to the world, and obviously to the business. People were like mad enough to go behind the computers. And slowly, even on the technological front, even people were started thinking that, to support these many kind of activities, or else to get into applications getting into rise into these level. Okay, automatically the systems were not sufficient enough. Automatically the systems were not sufficient enough. So they started something called as, cloud. By then, actually, virtualization has started by the end of 2000, by the end of the year 2000, where VMware started commercializing the virtualizing components. Okay, so slowly, whatever servers I was having, let us assume, with the help of what is it, Microsoft IaaS, or else Apache. Even Apache was there right from 2000, I guess. Okay, I remember myself doing projects in Apache web servers. Okay, so that's how. Even those web servers were there, but they were not sufficient enough to have the storage, and also what to say, the speed of the accessibility. The speed of the accessibility. Okay, so as I told you, Amazon literally killed the market of Barnes and Noble's bookstores, which had 150 years of market share, and 150 years of legacy in that business. Okay, so how it could do that, just because of the technology I told. And how did technology enable to do that? Quicker access to the bookstore, quicker response from the bookstore. Okay, and the better service, and user-friendly service. These things have played a crucial role. So in order to give these things, okay, quick service availability, quick response, and quick service, and also the fourth one is user-friendly service, isn't it? Okay, so these four things, to have these four things enabled, okay, virtualization supported a lot. Virtualization supported a lot. So there, by the end of 2005, with the help of virtualization, a new technology emerged, something called as cloud. And it was unfortunate that, in the introductory class we have seen what is the interpretation of the cloud from one of our diplomats, I can say. Okay, it was very unfortunate people took it in that sense. Okay, so what we understand is, around 2005, okay, so it all started to play with a new technology, something called as cloud. And as a result, the first cloud has been emerged, something called as elastic compute cloud. That means, there are many number of computations it can be accommodating, and these computations, okay, these computations are very much flexible enough. They can grow and they can shrink as and when the necessity is there. And also all these things, pardon me, all these things, okay, can occur in one particular system, or they can be occurring in what to say, diversified or else distributed manner as well. Okay, so these things, okay, have really played a important role in emerging the cloud. But on the other hand, the organization, that is the computer organization, has also grown to certain extent in such a way that the operating system, the processors were they were capable of forking the child process in such a way that altogether they can create a new distributed way of functioning of the processes, and which evoluted to distributed systems. Okay, and further the distributed systems evolved to grid systems. Okay, it's a computer organization growth parallelly that is happening. With all these support, that means with the parallel computer architecture development, with the virtualization development, and with the market development, with the users, what to say, technology being very much comfortable to the user, or else technology friendly users are also started coming into the market. All these things added cloud to boom. Just like that, they started booming the cloud. So based upon this, we have many definitions to be coined. One such definition is Gartner's definition, and according to Gartner, the definition goes in such a sense that a style of computing in which scalable and elastic IT-enabled capabilities are delivered in terms of a service. In terms of a service, to whom it will be delivered? It will be delivered to external customers through certain internet technologies. Through certain internet technologies. On the other hand, the Forrester research people have coined the definition as a standard IT capability. You know what those IT capability basically they mean? Something like software, something like services, something like infrastructures. Infrastructure, what I mean here is in hardware part. That is nothing but the drivers and the hardware part. Okay, so delivered via internet technologies in something like pay-per-use way. I use this much, I will pay this much. I use this much, and I will pay for what I use. Isn't it? Okay, so that's how the Forrester research have defined the cloud. On the other hand, similar to that of W3 Consortium for Internet Technology, okay, there is a standard organization that looks for standardizing the technology in especially the US. Of course, it was initiated, then it started governing across the world. Okay, what we call that as an National Institute of Standards and Technology. In short, it is called as NIST. Okay, and according to NIST, they say that cloud computing is a model that enables ubiquitous. You know what ubiquity is? Anywhere, anytime. Okay. Next one is convenient and on-demand network access for what? For a pool of resources which can be configurable, and by which, what is the benefit? They can rapidly provide and release the and they can rapidly provide the resources, and also they will be lowering down or else lowering down the management effort. Okay, so that is the definition from the NIST. That is the cloud model is composed of with these kind of characters. Okay, one is the ubiquitous, the convenient, on-demand network access, configurable, and computing resources. Okay, so all these 5 characters were being mentioned in the definition of the NIST. Apart from that, we as part of the curriculum, we regularly follow our textbook's definition, isn't it? Okay, so according to that, or else according to Thomas Earl, who is an author of our textbook, okay, he says that cloud computing is a specialized form of distributed computing. See, again, it's a distributed computing only, but it's a specialized form of distributed computing, which introduces utilization of certain models, using those models remotely, and in how those models are used, either they can be scalable and their usage is measurable. You got it? Okay. So these many number of definitions are there, and the best definition what we can adopt is the definition from the NIST. That is important. That is important. Why? Because according to the NIST definition, the characters have been defined, service models have been defined, and the deployment models have been defined. And hence, we will be going forward with the NIST definition. Okay. Now, going forward, what are all the business drivers? And I will not discuss this today here. And in later class, we will discuss about the business drivers. Having any doubts here, I'm open to take the doubts. I'm available to take the doubts. You can mute yourselves. You are allowed to do so. Why this J6? He is present here. Mr. Kiran? Mr. Kiran?